In this video, we're going to go over how to be a better hitter at MLB The Show 20, some tips and tricks. We'll go over some settings and some little cool things that you can do.
Nelko Ninja, Nelko Ninja.
Welcome back to another video, and all right, let's get into it. All right, so as we get started here, you might know some of these, you might already do some of these, but stick around to the end of the video before I go through all of them, because one little tip, one little trick could make you such a better hitter at MLB The Show 20. I know some of these work for me really good. All right, well, right off the bat, the number one thing that I have to use now, I feel so much more comfortable. They're very cheap. They're these. They're called Control Freaks. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Control Freaks, you can get them everywhere. They're really cheap, 10, 15 bucks, 12 bucks, something like that. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them anywhere. They basically will just slide onto your controller. So if you can see it, I have it on my right stick right now. See how it's higher? You can put it on the left stick as well. So if you don't use Control Freaks, it might be something to definitely consider using. Basically what it does is if you, for MLB The Show, okay, first of all, most people use them for first person shooters, right? It gives you a little bit more precision. So for MLB The Show, when you're hitting and you're using your left stick to hit, you're in zone hitting, all that stuff, it makes your movements more precise. So when you're moving your PCI around the batter's box, it makes your movements a little bit more precise. Gives you that little bit of better contact. When you're a little under the ball, a little above the ball, you get more perfect swings, more perfect. So yeah, there you go. When I started using these, my batting average went way higher. I started using them 2 years ago, and my batting average got so much better. It's a small change, but it really works. It really does work. All right, so before we get into any other tips or tricks, we're gonna go through the settings, the hitting settings, the best hitting settings for MLB The Show 20. Some of them are gonna be personal preference, will be up to you, and I'll go over some of the other ones. So let's get into this. Okay, so right off the bat, hitting difficulty doesn't matter, dynamic doesn't matter, because this is probably predominantly going to be online. There are some tips and tricks that we can go over for when you're playing showdown and stuff like that, which allow you to hit better. But for online, let's see here. Okay, so let's see here. So right off the bat for hitting view, now in the years past, strike zone 1, 2, or 3 have always been the best hitting views, easier to pick up the ball and all that. I personally use strike zone 1. I know a lot of people use strike zone 1. So here you see I'm in strike zone 1. It makes it a little easier to pick up the ball. So it makes it a little bit easier for me in strike zone 1 to see if the ball's coming inside, if it's tailing, whatever. So yeah, there you go. That's strike zone 1. All right, so this is strike zone 3. I find it a lot harder to pick up the ball in strike zone 3. I know a lot of people are used to as I crush a home run. Okay, so I know a lot of people get used to certain settings, right? Like me. When I changed to strike zone, it took me a while to get used to it. Once you get used to it, it's a lot better. Okay, in play offense, I've been leaving it at dynamic. It really doesn't matter. I also like high. You can mess around with these, and once you hit the ball, you'll see like different home run views, vision, all that stuff. Okay, so hitting interface. If you're using directional hitting, I mean, that's fine for you, but if you're trying to be competitive, you can't use directional hitting. If you want to use directional hitting and you're just playing the game to play the game, that's fine, you know. Pure analog hitting is definitely, I don't know anybody that uses pure analog hitting. Very hard to do. You want to use zone hitting. Zone hitting gives you the PCI. So the PCI this year, they changed a lot of cool things on here. PCI center, circles, altitude, or none, or diamonds. I've messed around with them a little bit. So there's your diamonds. Hold on, let me change the view back to strike zone 1 because it just looks weird to me. All right, there's your diamonds. It's not a lot different in the middle. I mean, you got diamonds, you got circles, you got whatever. Here we go. This is altitude. I don't really mind altitude. A little bit busy in the middle, you know, so we'll probably just go ahead and leave it on circles. But okay, and I really like how they changed this here. Now, transparency is cool. You can make it go away a little bit. You see my PCI is on white. A lot of people have yellow, but you can use yellow, orange, red. It doesn't really matter what you use. Whatever you feel the most comfortable with. I'm actually digging white, and I put it on higher transparency because it doesn't bother me as long as you have the PCI fade out to outer. Now you can have them all stay, or you can have them both fade out. You can have the inner fade out, just the outer fade out. So I like the transparency up. I like it on white, and I'll turn the fader, the PCI fade out to outer only. Okay, guys, so there's the basic settings. We have the PCI the way we want it. We have the strike zone the way we want it. All the settings are right. Basically, I'll go over one huge thing that really affected me. So say somebody's pitching you inside, right? They're pitching you high and inside. You can't hit it at all. You're really struggling. The one thing that you do not want to do is leave your PCI up here, because what happens is you will swing at bad pitches. What happens is they start pitching you inside where you can't hit, so your PCI is right there. But when they throw a really bad pitch that's even further inside, but it's in that general area, your eyes will make you swing at bad pitches. So you don't want to do that. It never works, and it will in the long run, it will kill you. So if he's working you inside, you can move the PCI inside, track it however. I've been tracking from the bottom, but it depends on what you want to do. Like I said, just don't leave it in that spot that you can't hit. It will make you struggle. It will make you swing at bad sliders outside, the whole nine. All right, so now that we went over the basic settings for hitting, let's go. I want to show you something else real quick that will help you be a better hitter for sure. Okay, I'm sure most of you are familiar with this, but it's the challenge of the week. Basically, you earn stubs, prizes, all this stuff. You get scoring. What happens is as you continue hitting, you go up levels. I'm sure most of you have played this before. You gain momentum, you gain multipliers. You'll earn stubs. You can earn a bunch of stuff. But what it does is it makes you track balls really good. It makes you not swing at bad pitches. So if you're somebody that swings at a lot of bad pitches, you'll swing at something a little outside, it'll be a ground ball, whatever. Or if you really struggle in showdown, because in showdown, I'm thinking about doing a video for it, but it's kind of a glitch. You can cheat a little bit. I don't know if you want to call it a cheat, but you can stack your lineup regardless of position. For contact versus right, if you're facing a right boss, you can skip right through. It really works good for team affinities and all that stuff if you're trying to get the 50 point, the Joey Gallo, Matt Olson, all those guys. So this will really, really help you. And if you actually do good, you can earn, prizes and money and all that. All right, so here we go. Here's another quick tip. I'm on my no money spent team here. I haven't barely played, grinding a little bit, making it a little bit more enjoyable to grind on my no money spent team. It's coming along, looking good. My other team is pretty stacked, but this is the no money spent squad. And, we just started out level 20 bronze, but here's a little piece of advice for hitting. Now, my lineup's not set. I haven't played any games or anything like that. It would have been easier to show you on my main squad. But anyways, when you're being competitive and you get into and you're trying to play ranked seasons and all that, make sure you have the proper lefty righty switches. Obviously, you want to have a versatile lineup, right? Like right, lefts, and all that stuff, or switch hitters and all that stuff. But what's going to happen is when you're facing, like last year, for say, you're facing Clayton Kershaw, right? Make sure your bench, don't worry about your overall of your team. Make sure you have the proper hitter. Even if you have a 99 stud lefty like Ted Williams last year, right? But you make sure that you have the proper righties or lefties to switch. So if you're making the right switches and adjusting to your lineup while you're playing ranked seasons, you will definitely see a benefit from that for sure. Okay, here we go. Now let's talk about the PCI real quick again. So basically your placement, right? If you have it really in the middle, you'll go up high, you'll go down low, right? If you leave it a little bit up for smaller adjustments, there you go. So perfect. There you go. If you leave it up for smaller adjustments, it'll be a little easier. I'll show you on the next one real quick. So if you're right here, you'll come up far. If you're up here and you drop down small, you make smaller adjustments. So you leave it a little bit high. If it's a fastball high, boom, it's a small adjustment. If it's down, you have time to come down. What you don't want to do is be like this up here or something and then try to drastically move the PCI. It really hurts. It really gives a lot of pop-ups, all that good stuff. So there we go, guys. I hope this video helped you out a little bit. Try out some of the new settings if you haven't. Try the Control Freaks if you haven't. I can do a more in-depth video if you want it. Leave some comments down below. I can do a pitching video. Pitching tutorials next. This year I've really been trying to concentrate on pitching. So thank you so much for watching the video. If you guys are new to the channel, consider subscribing. Tap that notification bell. We're going to have all kinds of videos like this coming out. Hope you're enjoying MLB The Show 20 as much as I am. And as always, we'll see you in the next video.